What do you do when the money stops rolling in, but you have an amazing idea? What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Fervent Four. Did you know that only 4% of businesses ever cross the annual $1 million revenue mark? Hello, I'm Zack Miller, author of Anomaly, and with me today, I have my co-host, Tim Ryan, somewhere over there on the internet, lead man at startwheel.org. Thank you so much for joining us. The Fervent Four is a weekly show each and every Thursday at 11 a.m. dedicated to sharing insights into growing a world-class business no matter the climate. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Kathy Reagan Young.
Woo!
You're the first person to ever get it, spirit
Dude,
hands
jazz
and
hands?
jazz hands. That is
Woo!
fantastic. What movie is that from?
I don't know. I think of it as oh my gosh, it was a show with Just Jack. Remember Just Jack? Will and Grace. I don't know. I'm showing.
Did you watch the remake of Will and Grace?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I tried. It wasn't as good.
You know, I always think it's interesting. What are the first few questions that I'm going to ask going to be? And, jazz hands and Will and Grace got its first appearance on the show.
That wasn't on your list?
That one would have been, if this was Vegas, that would have been in the this is other category. It would have been in the other category, right?
We started auspiciously.
Yeah. So, Kathy, you and I met a few years ago. You and Tim just met 13 minutes ago. So this is going to be an exciting ride. Mm-hmm. Remind me, when we first met in probably 2015, 2016 time,
right?
You had started this whole shenanigans, this business. You had also had a very popular Facebook group at the time, but at some point before that, you had that light bulb moment, if you will. You had that aha moment. Kind of walk me through kind of the down part of it that led you to kind of the up and the idea part of it.
Sure. Well, I should give you a little bit of a backstory, which
as much as you want.
It starts
60-minute show, though.
Okay. I'll edit. It starts with me being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2008. And everything on the internet about multiple sclerosis at that time was doom and gloom and horrible and just awful. So once I kind of got my legs under me and figured out that this is a life sentence, but it's not a death sentence, I wanted to kind of share that with others. So I started a website called FUMSnow.com, where I just really provided information, inspiration, and motivation for people to live their best lives with MS. And I just wanted to let them know that there's a lot of life after diagnosis, and a lot of it has to do with your attitude. So that was the concept. And it was just kind of a passion project. It was really about providing a soft place to land, particularly for newbies being diagnosed. When I was diagnosed, my doctor actually said to me, I was a stay-at-home mom at the time, and he said, I'm glad that you're a stay-at-home mom because stress is absolutely the worst thing for MS. It'll bring on relapses. So, don't ever work, which was hilarious to me because I thought, you don't really understand what being a stay-at-home mom is then, because I have never worked so hard in my entire life, nor have I ever known stress like that. So between that and when I hear somebody tell me I can't or shouldn't.
Was the doctor male?
I'm sorry? Was the doctor male? Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm learning as I think it's important to ask and listen a lot. And so it seems like a lot of males don't grasp a lot of concepts because they don't live through it. So it's
bingo.
So I think as someone who's screwed up a lot to have to learn from that, I think we have to figure out, okay, why is that happening, right? And so it's interesting that you said that, stay at home mom gets it, but the guy who's never done it doesn't get it. So
right, yeah, and that is not putting your feet up and eating bonbons. When you're stay-at-home mom, you were really working hard, and it's very stressful. And I've always been the personality where if somebody tells me I can't or I shouldn't, I hear that as you can and you should. It's almost like a double dog dare. So as soon as my youngest was in school full-time, I went back to work full-time, which I loved and enjoyed so much. But he was right. It kicked my tail. So I don't know, probably 2-3 years into it, I had to leave because of my MS. It was just too much. So, the great thing was, okay, I can be home taking better care of myself, but I always say my paycheck quit coming and my bills didn't, which is true. And I needed to figure out how to generate an income and yet still take care of myself. Um, and it occurred to me that I had this asset that I had been building that was purely a passion project, but it was in fact an asset. And how do I monetize this? So I started looking into how to monetize my blog. And I had started a podcast at that point. So how do you monetize a podcast?
So what was the passion project at that point? It was just
FUMS. Yeah,
and
it
so,
was FUMS.
so
I had the blog, I
and
had the podcast. Yeah. Yeah. So I needed to figure out how to monetize those things. And I did. I mean, it was, I say I did like it was just like that. There are a lot of scammers on the interwebs. And I think I signed up for all of their classes. So
was this in terms of subscribe and do business with me, and I'll monetize it in ways that you never thought you could monetize it?
Well, sort of. There was a lot of courses, how to monetize your blog, how to monetize your podcast. There was a lot of that. And then, what is affiliate marketing and how do you implement that on your website? So, and eventually I did find a coach that was really, really going to help me, for multiple $1,000s. And
have you heard of Hatch at this point?
I had actually. I had been part of Hatch.
We were one of those lousy course coaches.
No, not at all. Not at all. No. In fact, Hatch was the touchstone of reality and speaking to people who were really doing what they were saying they were doing. So it helped illuminate the BS that I was dealing with, when you could sit across from somebody and talk to them about what was really working for their website. And then I'd go, God, I just paid, $500 to hear somebody tell me the exact opposite, but this person's actually doing it. So Hatch was fantastic for that. Really helped me understand what works.
So